So a buddy of mine shared with me his a post or his system for productivity. Uh, I actually did a video on an app that was pretty cool on to do managing your to do list, your calendar, and note taking. And he said all the systems I just constantly go back to this. It's a simple to do list, and I definitely agree. Like at the end of the day, um, you got to keep it simple. Um, and so I do think also that you want to have things aligned with your goals because something the danger with the to-do list is that you end up crossing off things that are productive but don't get you closer to your ultimate goals that like really should move the needle in your life, in your company, in your organization, whatever it is. And so that's the challenge is not only prioritizing your list, but making sure that before anything gets added are the things that are close and dear to your heart are getting done first and foremost. Like for example, some people feel like they wish they had more time writing. If they wrote every day or wrote or read a little more every day, that it will be game changing in their how they live their lives. And so does that it just unfortunately those things just never make it on our to-do list because we usually take to-do lists and it's almost like a queue almost of a playlist of what's coming up next, what's coming up next, what's coming up next. And it's very passive in the sense that we are being told what should be on our to-do list by the nature of the busyness of life. You get a phone call, we get an email, oh, we got to do that, oh, we got to do that. Well, before that even happens, what are the things that you must do before any of those things have to get your attention? And so it's a really cool system created by Peter Bregman, who's author of 18 Minutes, Find Your Focus, Master Distraction, and Get the Right Things Done. Talks about his process that in 18 minutes, 5 minutes in the morning, and then he does a practice where 1 minute of every hour for the next 8 hours, and then 5 minutes at night. You get this clarity and focus on yes, things are going to be put on my to-do list, but how do I make sure that I'm doing the most important things? And so that's where he uses this. So if you're a pen and paper, this might be your to-do list on steroids in the sense that you have a top goal, every annual focus that you're looking to do. And these are supposed to be like, truly important things, that are really foundational to your success. The things that we never get around to do, because we choose to get other stuff in the way. And then once you have these things written down, then you go to your to-do list and say, what am I going to do out of all the things that gets me that I listed in each goal? So you put the goal down, then you put the small things that get you closer to the goal. Out of all the things I can do in those areas of focus, what am I going to do today? So it's almost like you have this is like your true north, and then it's almost like your to-do list of today gets first dibs from this list first. So at least one or two things on your to-do list should be placed here that come from here. Makes sense? So when you're looking at your calendar and you notice you only have a small window here, then it's like, okay, what is something small that I can do but will still get me closer to my annual focus? And then you place it on your to-do list or in your calendar, and then boom. And then now you have a bigger window here for Tuesday, whatever it is. And then, okay, now I can really hit the second goal hard in the morning because I have a little more freedom and uninterrupted time. Then I want to put that down. And then, as things come up to the day, then those get put on your to-do list. They're almost like secondary. They get second rate real estate on your to-do list, essentially. So it's just a different philosophy of like, your goals, the tasks that get you closer to your goals should be treated with first class priority. They get the red carpet treatment when it comes to your time and your to-do list and your calendar. Everything else gets secondary. Now you notice also on here that there's other stuff that you just have to do, that they're super important, but that have nothing to do with your goals. Renewing your car registration, you need to drive to work, right? So yeah, so you have to take care of that stuff. So it tries to be a little more realistic and practical, that you can't spend your entire time in the zone and on those super important big ideas all the time. But it does help you kind of focus on those things a little more intentionally and give it like the first fruits of the day for each day. So a little cool little thing there that some of you might, who are pen and paper, if you want to kind of like turn it up a little bit with your goals, with your daily to-do list, this might give you a good orientation of your true north. What's that like? All right, hope that helps.